Hello, in today's video we're going to show you how to identify and if necessary change your Eprom on your PSC 101 controller. If you first power it up, after the startup it'll show you CI 5.2. It'll show you what version is currently residing. I'll show it to you again. CI 5.2. That tells you what you have in there. That is all the instruction set for your controller. It determines all the characteristics your controller has. All right, to do so, if you want to change it, always make sure the power is off, and then I'll show you on the board where the chip is. Okay, so you want this guy right here. This will be chip number U2. There's a very small text on the board that identifies it. So also notice the position of this teeny little notch on the chip. It needs to go in its same place. That's the not putting it backwards. Okay, so to remove it, I use a scribe and I gently sort of leverage back and forth between the chip and the socket. You can see you're slowly working it out because it's very easy to bend the leads, although it's not a major disaster if that happens. They can be re-straightened. It's okay if it takes a few moments to do that. Okay, you remove this guy, set it aside, and if you look right in there, you can see a little tiny U2. Make sure you always replace that chip. Okay, now, once you remove that, here's our new one. Generally, the chips will have the version of software on the label, not always, but usually. So make sure all your pins are straight. Sometimes they get a little bit bent. Once again, that's okay. You can just straighten it up here carefully with some small pliers. And then carefully sort of work them in there. I like to get all one side sort of set and then just sort of push and gently. And sometimes it might take a little playing around. Okay, once you feel them all in there, just give it a fully set there until it's fully compressed, and then go ahead and double check and make sure that none of your pins get bent up there. It happens once in a while. Okay, you'll see that I observed that the notch is still in the front there. Okay, that's how you replace the chip. Now, when you change the software and restart it, it's going to show you the version of software, but now it's going to say parameters bad. That happens, that's totally normal. Happens whenever you change the Eprom. Now you'll see it says BM 4.9. Uh-oh, bad parameters. Here, I'll show you the version again. BM 4.9, bad parameters. Okay, now to clear that, you need to do this. You have these two switches right here on the board. These are your reset switches. And you want to press and hold this one. Press and hold this one, let go of that one, let go of this one. You'll see that it said reset parameters. Now you see it's normal. I'll go ahead and turn it off so you can see now that it's accepted the software. BM 4.9, parameters okay. Okay, lastly, sometimes depending on the version of the software, when you change the Eprom, it might affect your motor speed calibration. The way to check that is simple. You go to your mode switch, press it to where it says port. Then you go to your more switch over here, twice to where it says motor. Then you sort of scroll this over to the right here. I set up for 2,000. That's telling you that's your 2,000 RPM is what it's set for. Over here will act as a tachometer and show you what the speed actually is. So you scroll back over here, press the more button again. Now in this case, now it's showing you what it's set for and what it actually is. And in this case, that's close enough. If it's within like 50 to 100 RPM, that's totally acceptable. But in the event that it was not, then what you would do is back here on the board, this little potentiometer, make a little adjustment there. And check here if you You can change this here. You can see that how it affects your RPM. And you can speed it up or slow it down as necessary. And it doesn't have to be exact. Like I said, if it's within 50, 100 RPM, that's fine. The controller can allow for that. And if that's the case, then you're good to go. And then you just go ahead and the less button here turns it back off. Then you go back to your regular screen there, and that is how you change it and make any changes as necessary. And this will conclude our video. Thank you for watching.